Hi, everybody. My name is Elder Armitage, and this is Sister Armitage, and we are going to be speaking with Sister Strong, who is serving her mission in the Ireland Scotland mission. And we'll let her talk about herself and what type of mission that she is doing. But we wanted to welcome her. We came to know Sister Strong in the MTC when we were there. We were all together, and it's been really good. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about your background.
Okay, first of all, I have a lot of heritage in Scotland and Ireland, so I feel like I'm home.
That's
Um, I was raised in the church. I met my husband. He had just gotten off his mission in Germany, and we were married for 53 and a half years when he passed away. It's been 2.5 years. And we got to serve a mission together in Vienna, Austria, serving the young adults. And that was one of the highlights of my life. And I have a large posterity, and they're also very supportive of my action. Why I chose to go on a mission? Well, first of all, it was like, what am I going to do with my life? I retired from teaching school when we left on our first mission, and I was basically following my husband around to whatever he wanted to get done. And so I needed a purpose that was meaningful. And prior to the mission, I was serving a service mission at the Family Search Library in Salt Lake. And then I was directed, I may be answering a lot of these questions at one time. I
perfect.
was directed. I served at the temple also. And while I was at the temple, I got a direct voice tell me, you need to serve a British Isles mission. So I went in line and looked, and well, as the single sisters, there's not a lot of options, but they had one for Scotland, Ireland, working in the office. And I thought, oh, that's great. That's fine. So I just kept my eye on it, but it wasn't a critical need. It was just a high need. And there were some other options too. Well, one night after being at the temple, I was looking, I have two screens, and the Scotland Ireland mission went from high need to critical need. And I literally had the Spirit move me from this screen to the other screen now. And I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning and filled up my papers because that's where the Lord wanted me to be at this point in my life.
Oh, that is fantastic.
That's amazing. So you put your papers in, and then did you request that mission specifically? Was that the only one that you put
Yes,
down?
that was usually you have to put when you request, you have to put in four options. They won't let you just put one in. That night, my one went in. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
How
I
long?
needed to come home.
Yeah. And so you put in your request and you submitted the paperwork. How long before you received your mission call?
It was about a month.
Okay.
And when we start with our last mission or in Vienna, we had the mission president ask us to come serve with him. And we knew someone who was helping as a missionary in the seniors mission department. And he told us that every seniors mission request goes to every department in the church line of departments for them to review and see if what you have, your background and such, is something that they could use. And then everyone who says yes puts their request in. Then they have a committee that narrows it down to 3 to 5. And those are the locations that are sent to the apostle to review. Now, he can always come up with something different, but usually it's one of those 5 that have. So I knew it wasn't like the young missionary that within 10 days you would have it. But it took about a month for it to go through all the process.
Okay, that's about what it took for ours too, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's super interesting. So how long did you wait between the time that you got your call and you actually left?
I got the calling in June and I left in October.
Yeah.
Is
And
that the
that was a
date?
change.
Sorry, go ahead.
Pardon?
Is that the date that you wanted to leave in October, or is it just when it was?
Well, I had put down, I'd be willing to go anytime from June on. But I also indicated my last grandchild was getting baptized October 28th. And so I wanted, if I could go right after that, or 26th, she was getting baptized on the 26th. So the 28th would be a wonderful time to start. And that's what they gave me. But then talking with the secretary at the Scotland Ireland mission, they were leaving November 1st and said, is there any way you can come earlier? And I debated. I asked my granddaughter, do you want me to come for the one day? Or what if I came a whole week before? And she chose the week before. So I told them I could. So they moved my date up to start the MTC on the 14th. Then there was the visa people didn't know that. So I had to inform them and went through. Anyway, by the time all the processing got, it was Friday. I was supposed to start the MTC on Monday, and I still hadn't been cleared.
Oh,
Friday, I got that notice before that said, okay, your papers are now going to England for final approval. And it usually takes about 3 weeks. I got my visa the following Wednesday while I was at the MTC. So the Lord is in the details of our lives.
for sure. That's amazing. That's so great. Did you have any fears or concerns about taking off to Ireland?
No, I I have such support from my family, and they're all outgoing, independent kids that I wasn't worried about them, and I'm happy with change and trying new things.
Yeah, that sounds like us for sure.
Tell us a little bit about your work and what a typical day looks like for you.
Okay, I was assigned to be the office secretary, and I usually get there between 8 and 9 in the morning, and normally go home between 5 and 6. Sometimes I've been there till 7:30. My biggest thing is communication. Anytime anybody, as soon as that we have the elder Congelosi, who was before me, did a beautiful job of this big spreadsheet, and I love spreadsheets. And he had it all mapped out from the time the missionary is listed. 3 months ahead, you send this. 2 months ahead, you do this, and he has it all outlined. But there's so many, you've got to send notices to them, you've got to send notices to the parents, you've got to just so many different things, sending letters to them so they know what to expect, a welcome from the mission president. It's all that. So we get all that. And then all those that are leaving, we have to send them notices 3 months ahead. Tell us, how are you going home? Is someone picking you up? Where are you planning to land? What country, what town? All that. And then we turn that in, and then I turn that over to the church's missionary travel department, and they make all the travel arrangements. And then when those come, I have to send it out to them, the itineraries, to their parents, to the bishop, to the stake president. Again, it's all keeping that communication. And just an example, because they had this red warning weather winds over here in Ireland and Scotland this last weekend, I sent out a letter from the bishop, the mission president's request to all the parents, letting them know we're aware of it. You've talked to the missionaries; they're aware of what they need to do to prepare for it, and just again, communication, keeping things in communication.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
so
then I'm like,
important.
when it's time for them to come, one of the charts that he had made was pickups and deliveries. So we map out exactly, here's the person, this is where they're leaving from at this time, and they're going to this place at this time. And for like every month, here's this month, so that those that have to arrange pickup from the airport, hotels, whatever, can get their work done. So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, lots of logistics to go through. And I'm sure the
Yeah,
parents are just so happy to have you sending that information out because you know they're dying at home wanting to know what's going on.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, oh, that's great. Um,
Did you find that the projected cost that the mission had, do you find that accurate as you've now been in the mission for 3 months?
well, I don't buy a lot, so I was under the amount that they say. I did end up paying more for rent because as single sisters, you have an option to be two in a flat or one. And the sister who came before me wanted her own place. So then my amount, hers and both of ours, went up half again what it would if we shared a flat. And I was
oh, yeah.
fine with whatever. So,
Mhm.
but they are also are very much aware of how much you said you could spend, whether or not that would be a burden to do that. So they aren't just charging everybody everything.
Right.
So
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Is there anything, you being in a foreign country, is there anything that you wish you would have brought with you as you came over now that you know you've been there for a while?
no, I think it's interesting. There's no jello. There's so many American things that we're used to having that we're trying marshmallow. I make Rice Krispie squares. The missionaries love that whenever we have a zone conference. And they're marshmallows are these little bags, and they're pink and white.
Oh, yeah.
And I I go through, I figured out how much to use of everything so I can find it. But it is different trying to figure out the grams versus the ounces and stuff like that. But money wise hasn't been an issue for me.
Yeah, that's great. So you kind of told us a little bit about the specifics are that what you're doing. And you had, when you put your paperwork in, did you specify that you wanted to do an office mission? Because that was
Yeah,
the one that they had requested, right?
that
Okay.
was that was there, and I'm very comfortable with that. Again, I love spreadsheets. Now I was grateful I was not assigned to one of the other office assignments because I that meant talking to a lot of people, and that's not me. So I like being in front of my computer. And others, they're great. They're great talking with vendors and landlords and vehicle people, and they're great. But I'm glad that mine is hide behind the computer.
That's perfect. That's so great that you got the perfect mission for you. And how long are
Yeah,
you serving?
23 months.
Okay.
So I
So
I
almost
told
2 years.
them I'd go 18 to 23 months and left it, and they gave me the 23 months, which I'm glad, because once you master what all this is, to leave so soon, and somebody else
Yeah.
has got to master it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I could go for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we saw that video, and I believe you put it online of the missionary welcome and stuff, and that was fantastic. Have you been part of that?
It was fun. I was there watching it, and we've had a couple more since then, and it is just fun. There is so much excitement and love immediately for these missionaries. And what after they have lunch and the mission presidents talk with them after lunch, then they have all the new missionaries line up, and then they announce a missionary and your companion is. And to see those two run together and give each other a hug and just right on is just, it's amazing that love is just flowing. They're so excited to help each other. And I've watched them, they do help each other. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, they're all helping each other. And
And
it's so fun.
that is fantastic. I don't know if we can we post that with them?
We won't post it with this, but it was a YouTube video that just showed the new missionaries arriving to the Ireland Scotland mission, and it was just so well done, and it was showing just the love that the companionships have for each other already, and the love that the mission leaders have for the missionaries just immediately.
Yeah.
It was just so evident. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look up on YouTube under that, if you just put in search,
Ireland Scotland welcome or something. Yeah.
you're welcome. You'll find it. It's really exciting. And it gives you bubbles. It really does.
Yeah.
Um,
President and
so
Sister Randall are amazing. You can just see the love that they have for all these missionaries. And they're just, it's just one big family.
mhm.
So
Yeah, we have found that too on our mission, and one of our favorite things about serving here has just been working with the younger missionaries. They're just
yes,
so incredible, just such incredible humans, and I just keep saying the church is in really good hands in the future because they have such strong testimonies and their spiritual messages are just incredible. So
yes.
we love it. Well, is there anything that we have not asked you or anything that an experience you've had or anything that you want to share about your first 3 months there?
I think the biggest thing was I was shocked at how much work goes into running a mission. I had no idea. And I'm blessed that we have a good team of 6 people that are serving with me. And, we have a good group, but there's some missions where it's one couple and that's it. And they have to do all that we're doing. And I think the biggest thing I would say, seniors, go on a mission. Whether you do a service mission and stay home or a full-time mission, that you are so needed. A lot of missions only have one MLS mission, a couple for the whole mission. And there you are so needed. And like I said, I was not aware how much the senior missionaries are appreciated and needed throughout the world in these amazing missions. And they make a big difference for these other missionaries and the wards and branches. So I would just recommend to anybody who can to go on a mission. If you're 40 and over, you can go on a mission. And you can even go at as old as I am. So it's well worth it.
Yeah, I second that. We've just loved being out here. And what we were surprised about in the MTC is how flexible it is to go on a mission. So you don't have to go on an 18-month or a 24 mission. There were so many people in the MTC going on a 6-month mission or a 12-month mission. It's very flexible. So if you're not sure you want to go on a 6-month mission and try it out and then go on another one if that's something that, you love. But we have no regrets. We are loving our time here.
Yeah. And you can even extend. I mean, I had one sister who had put in for a year and she's extended to 18 months. So you don't even have to go home and start over. You can just extend where you're at. And no mission president's going to turn you down.
That's true.
He may change your assignment, but he won't turn you down.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And they might know with modern technology, I Zoom with my kids all the time and my grandkids. My grandson got set apart as a deacon. I was able to be part of it. They had FaceTime and just had the camera there and I could be part of it. I got to see my other granddaughter come home at the airport. They had the camera
Great.
up, and so I was there and got to say hi to her. And with modern technology, we don't lose contact with family, so you're not
That is so
losing them, you're
true.
just blessing them.
That is so true. I didn't even think about that fact that you could just be on the Zoom and see everything going on, all those important moments. So
Yeah.
thank you for that reminder. That is great.
Thank,
Yeah.
thank you for this opportunity. I
Well,
love being on this
Strong. We
mission.
love you. You're awesome.
we
Right?
do. We just 2 days we were in the MTC and we just thought so highly of you and just your
Oh,
bravery.
thank
So a
you.
little story about Sister Strong. I sat next to her on that very first Sunday. We got there on a Saturday night. I sat by her on Sunday, and I think somebody had asked her to do something, and she was really nervous about getting up in front of everybody. And I could tell that, and you said something to me like, I don't like to speak in public or do anything like that. And then it was a fast and testimony meeting, and you just got up and bore your testimony. And I was just so impressed by you because I knew you didn't like it and it made you nervous, but you just did it anyway. So I
Thank
just loved that. So
thank you.
yeah,
I don't take credit. The Spirit tells you what to do, and if you'll follow Him, you'll always be blessed.
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Love you too, and so glad you're doing well where you're at.
Thank you.
Awesome.